Hey guys, it's May to December, it's me, and I'm back again for another review video. And to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to getting down into it, and I've got a whole lot to talk about. So let's get started, shall we? Um, well, let me just do this quickly. Back again for another review video. I just need to check the sound was right because the thing was playing up. So okay, so here we go. Where do we start? We've got a massive collection here. Look at this. That's right. We're gonna get through all of that. So let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna start with the easy one. Everybody's seen it. If they haven't, I don't know where they are. Game of Thrones Series 1. I watched this and it took me personally, it took me a whole day to get through this and to get through season 2. I watched them back to back, one whole day. Sean Bean was excellent as Eddard Stark, and all the characters in it are amazing. All the English actors are just beyond amazing. It's just incredible, and it's just mesmerising how great it is. And the graphics are so beautiful. The story unfolds so beautifully. But for the family, the Starks have so much tragedy in their family, and the Lannisters are amazing. You know, I like the Lannisters. I like Peter Dinklage's character, Tyrion or something, and I like Jaime Lannister. I think he's great. You know, Joffrey is oh, but yeah, I watched series 1 and 2. Probably one of my new favourite series, to be honest. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't jump on the bandwagon straight away because if I'd done, I've only been able to watch one season at a time. But I finished 1 and 2, and luckily for me, the next week after, Series 3 came out, and I bought it. It was $30, and I bought it, and it carries on. It's a little bit slower than the other two series, but fantastic. I really, really love Game of Thrones, and I can't recommend it enough to people. If they haven't seen it, you're missing out. Obviously, if you're into that kind of thing, dragons and dungeons and, you know, medieval looking times, stuff like that, then it's perfect for you. But if you're not, then obviously you're not going to like it. Next, we have Justified Season 4. Now, Justified Season 4 I found to be not as good as the other seasons. The whole Shelby storyline was a bit weak in my view. Ava ended up in prison and all that. It was quite a letdown season. Series 1, 2 and 3 were alright. 3 was a bit stupid. 1 and 2 was awesome. And 4 was like a little backdrop in my view. Don't get me wrong, the show's still better than most shows on TV. But Series 4 was quite disappointing for me. The best part is seeing the progression through life of Raylan Givens and Boyd Crowder. They're both on each side of the law, and they're both up to their own tricks. And you know eventually that it's going to lead to them going against each other. You just don't know when. Well, season 6 is the last season, so I'm guessing it's going to be in season 6. Orphan Black. Season 2 has just kind of started and nearly ended now on BBC America. When I first watched this, I thought it was a bit slow and a bit boring, and then all of a sudden it started picking up, and I was like, ooh. I love the character Paul. I love Sarah Manning. I love Alison. I think the woman who plays them all is fantastic. I think she's great at doing different characters. Sorry. No, she's great doing different characters, and I love her brother Felix in the show. He's awesome. I recommend this show to you, especially now that season 2's just aired and it's coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. Acebound and Down Series 1. You get to know the story of Kenny Powers, Basically, a failed baseball player who wants to become a better baseball player ends up working in a school, sees his heart, sees the woman he apparently loves, and tries to get her back, and all that other stuff. This is an extremely good comedy from HBO, and to be honest with you, I didn't think I'd like it at first. But I picked up the first 3 seasons, which I've got around here somewhere, and I really enjoyed it. I really. Oh, so tired lately. I really enjoy it, and I thought this was great. I love the story, but the best season's the second season, in my view, when he goes to Mexico. But I'll talk about that when it pops up. American Horror Story Asylum. Now, I haven't seen this first series. I had it, and it got stolen, so that was depressing. But this series was a bit lackluster from what I saw of it. I didn't think it was that great. I like the story of where is he? Is it on it? There's a killer in it called Bloody Face. I like the story of Bloody Face. It turned out that it was a certain guy, and then his son went back from time and was killing people. The whole asylum thing with the nuns got a bit ridiculous because all the nuns were either evil or they were whorish and dirty, and it just seemed a bit inappropriate. And I know they're going for a shock factor and everything, but I didn't like it. I didn't mind watching it, but it took me ages to watch it. I heard the first season's excellent, so I'm going to definitely pick that up again to watch it. And I've got that Series 3 downloaded to watch Coven, so hopefully I'll like that. But I didn't mind it, I just didn't think it was as good as it could have been. It was a letdown, especially when you're a horror fan, it was a letdown. Spartacus, Gods of the Arena. I think this is the 6th episode one. I really enjoyed watching this. You see the rise and kind of like the fall kind of thing. And I liked it. I thought this was. But you kind of got to see how he grew and how he became big. Because this one was made as the prequel to Blood and Sand because Andy Whitfield had cancer and they were hoping he'd recover from it for the next 2 seasons. But he never did, so they replaced him with another guy who, I guess, in a way looked like him, but didn't look like him at the same time. But I love the artwork in these. I love these book style ones. In England, they weren't book style. They were just plastic case, Blu-ray cases. But yeah, I've only seen the first series and this series, and I really like them. I like the violence. I think the violence is great. You know, I feel like going, you know. The Office, season 5. Well, you know, there's not much I can say about The Office other than I love it. I was a big fan of the English one. I avoided this show for years because, to be honest with you, I thought it's going to be another one of those typical American crappy comedies, you know. The copy's the English one, but I actually think it's better than the English one. Probably because there's like 180-odd episodes, and it gives a lot more character development. Like Jim and Pam, I love their characters. I obviously love Michael Scott and Dwight, but to be honest with you, I like Michael, I like Jim, I like Pam. The character of Ryan by BJ Novak's alright, but I like it. It's a lot better. You feel more of the characters, and it's more funny. Season 6. I got season 6, which, to be honest with you, I like it. All I can say is what I said before, you know, I like Series 6, Series 7, Series 8, which I hate. I hate Season 8 because they made it Blu-ray DVD on the same disc, so it's like flip-sided disc. Ruins it, in my view. I hate that. And Season 9, which went back to the normal Blu-ray. But yes, Season 9. Okay now. But yeah, I really like The Office. I think The Office is a great comedy show, and I really enjoy it. And I think it's one of the funniest shows I've seen in ages. You know, short comedy shows. You know, live action, because I'm getting to one that I really like now, and that is Archer season 3. Now I've got all the first 4 seasons of Archer, and I just love how over the top and silly it is. Lana's your typical black woman with big breasts and that attitude, like no, you didn't, and all that stuff. It's great, and Archer's just a prick. It constantly goes on about how much he loves Lana, yet treats her terrible and all that stuff, which is hysterically funny, you know. Um, to me, it's like South Park adult version with in a secret agent firm, basically. I love it. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I keep yawning. Nip Tuck season 4 on Blu-ray. I had this imported to England years ago for a lot of money, and I'm a big fan of Nip Tuck. The first 4 seasons I really liked. I'm not too keen on 5 and 6. I'm actually finishing 6 again, and it's such a drag to get through. Sadly, the show kind of lost what it was. I mean, my favourite seasons were the ones with Escobar in, which is this one, and 1. I didn't mind 2 with the Ava storyline, and I really like number 3. 3's my favourite with the Carver storyline, because I think the Carver storyline was awesome. A bit predictable, they ruined the ending really, but yeah, Nip Tuck. Then we've got everybody's favourite geeky agent, Chuck. I picked this up by luck ages ago from I think 24/7, Warehouse 24/7 or something online. It imported to England without customs charges, and I watched it and I really liked it. You know, the whole he's got the he's got the whole government thing in his head. I'm trying to think what it was called. The Intersect, that's it. He has the Intersect in his head, basically, which is everything about everything the government has on file. And if he sees somebody, he sees a terrorist or something, and it pops up. It pops up, and basically, Sarah and I'm trying to think. Sarah and oh, I don't care. Anyway, Casey. That's it. Sarah and Casey. I think it's Sarah and Casey. They That's it. I'm getting this bothers me now. It bothers me when I get a name wrong. Yeah, Sarah Walker and John Casey. Basically, they're from NSA and from a different place. CIA, I think, and they're fighting against each other to get the Intersect back. And basically, they end up working with him, and he ends up becoming a super spy later on in the series. Through series 2, 3, 4, and last but not least, 5. And I didn't like series 5 because basically they're disavowed from the government and they start their own company, and I didn't like that. They should have ended it on series 4, I believe, because it just got more and more stupid, you know? How far can you take a comedy about a guy who's got it in his head? And then it ends up with Morgan has it in his head, and you're just like, oh, no. So it goes from being really good to actually quite bad, you know? And again, I forgot to put the comment thing on. Oh, what an idiot. So it was quite bad, you know? So going on to the next thing. Eastbound and Down Season 2, where Kenny Powers goes to Mexico. Now, I really enjoyed this season, probably more than I enjoyed any other season. I thought this season was really good. I thought it was awesome. And to be honest with you, I like the fact that Stevie gets with Maria. And I like how you see Kenny find his father, who's Don Johnson, famous for Miami Vice. And I just like the whole Mexican aspect. And then there's the midget Mexican guy who keeps threatening him about cutting off his balls and everything. And it's just hysterically funny. I really recommend Eastbound and Down. And now it's finished, all the seasons are out, seasons 1 to 4. It's just a great, amazing Blu-ray series. It's just excellent, you know. I love it. You know? Where are we? Let's have a look. Anger Management series, volume 2. I'm a big fan of Anger Management. I liked it because I thought it was I find it very funny and very refreshing. But the problem with it is, it starts off as being kind of like a Two and a Half Men joke about basically how he's winning, and he isn't winning at all. He's kind of, it's like a different show. And his name's Charlie in this show, like it was in Two and a Half Men and other stuff. And you're like, can't he be somebody else? So it gets a bit annoying in that aspect because you expect it to be a bit different. So basically, he's a anger management counsellor, basically, or therapist, and he's got a few people there who basically helped him. You got his daughter, you got his ex-wife, who's played by Shawnee Smith, I think. Yeah, Shawnee Smith. And basically got all these things with Martin Sheen coming in it and stuff. And it's really stupid, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I don't think it's serious. Don't take it seriously at all because it's comedy. It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. Selma Blair's great in it. Selma Blair's great in it. But, it's good. But they kicked her out because she had problems with Charlie Sheen. Then we've got True Blood, which I should take out basically, but I haven't. True Blood Series 3. I haven't seen Series 3 yet, but I'm getting there. Series 4. Series 5. Series 1. And Series 2. Now, I've seen part of Series 1, and to be fair, I think it's a really good show. I like the whole vampires living with humans aspect and them drinking true blood. And I like the fact that Bill's very possessive of Sucky Sucky. Because he says things like, she's mine, she's mine. And you're like, calm down, Bill. And you're like, what a name, Bill, for a vampire. Oh, hey, Bill. How you doing, Bill? It's great, Bill, And it's great. It's a good show. I enjoy it. I enjoyed the fact that it's got Vinny in it from Home and Away. I can't remember what his name is in the show, but he's the doofus bloke. So I like him, and I like the show. I think it's a good show, and I want to get back into it now that Season 6 has been released. Justified Series 1, which is, to be honest with you, one of the best seasons of Justified. I really like where you get to see Boyd Crowder's baby daddy. And now basically he gets killed and he wants to take revenge, and Raylan just lets him go off and get him. I think that's quite good. And the ending where it has You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive playing, it's just excellent. And it's a great start to the series. Then probably the best season of Justified, Season 2 of the Bennetts. The Bennett family is great. Mags Bennett is probably the best character in the show after Boyd Crowder, villain-wise. And I really enjoyed that. It was upset seeing her go the way she did, but Dickie Bennett is still in the show now. He pops in every now and again, which is quite nice. But it always aggravated me because I always thought it was stupid. But Mags Bennett had that power about her. She had that scary factor, and just the ending and the whole series in whole just made the show more fantastic than you could ever imagine, So I really liked it. I really thought this was awesome. Justified Season 3. Basically, the mob comes to town and it's run by, does it say his name in it? No, it doesn't. Basically, you got Dickie Bennett on trial. You've got Boyd Crowder and you've got the other guy, the black guy. I can't remember what his name is, sadly. But Limehouse, the new bloke who comes into it, basically, who's a mobster, wants to get power, basically. And it's a big, massive power struggle between all of them, really. And basically, Raylan stops it all. Like a typical Kentucky American would. Stops it, protects people, They go after his family and everything as well, which is quite nice. I love seeing family danger. Then I bought these pirated, but they cost me about $60 together. And depending on who you are, it depends on whether it's worth the money. They're HD rips from TV shows. They're not the best, but they work out. And that's the Spider-Man series from 1994. It's pretty basic. It's not the best quality. I would have preferred an official release, but I doubt it's ever going to happen on Blu-ray. So I'm kind of glad that I was able to get these from somebody. It's only 3 discs on plain white discs with just the disc 1, episodes 1 to 20 on, with a basic normal white sheet piece of paper. We've got here. Then we've got Weeds, which is another great comedy, but sadly I haven't got into it yet because I haven't been able to. I bought the whole collection, so that's series 7, that's 6, that's 8, that's 8. Oh, I ain't got any more there at the minute, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say much about it, but I've seen clips of it and laughed. So, I think it's pretty good. Let's have a look, where are we? Oh, here's more Weeds. Series 5. Series 4. Series 3. What's that? Is that Series 2? Let's have a look. Season 2. And I've got Season 1 somewhere in this pile. Again, another series which I haven't seen, which I keep meaning to get into because I hear about how great it is. And I've got the first 5 seasons on Blu-ray, and that is Mad Men. Now, I had nothing but good reviews about it, and I've seen clips of it, and it looks good. I like the sets, and I like the whole back in like the 50s, 60s kind of time. I think that's when it is, isn't it? But I like how it goes back in time to like the 60s and that, and I think it's great because, you know, you want to see shows that are different. You don't want to watch shows which are the same. You want to get fresh, vibrant shows, and a lot of times you don't. I mean, this summer alone, there's like 60 new shows starting. It's just crazy. 60 shows, and you're like, how am I supposed to watch all of them in my lifetime? So now we've got South Park, the complete 14th season. I love South Park. Ever since they started getting more on real subjects like the iPhone or the iPad or Britney Spears and stuff like that, I enjoy it a lot more. The original series to me wasn't as funny as it is now. Maybe it's just because I enjoy it more because I'm older and I was younger back then, who knows. But Series 14 was hysterically funny, they all are. I enjoyed Series 14. Then we had Season 15 where you had to make the new iPad, and it was in the Human Centipede style, and I really thought that was great. And I really thought that was great because I just thought it was funny taking the piss out of what the Human Centipede basically was, you know. And it's just great, and I love how they just make fun of everything, and they do it all the right way as well. It's just so perfectly written and so smartly done. Then we've got the complete 17th season. That don't make sense. I haven't got the 16th season. Oh well. I just realised I've got. This is the 16th season. I thought it was the 17th season. What an idiot. The 16th season is another funny show. Anyone who hasn't seen South Park is highly missing a good comedy animated show, which really has no restrictions at all. I mean, right now I'm playing the Stick of Truth game. As people know, the gameplays are on my channel, and I'm just quite a big fan of it. I have to admit, though, I don't like it as much as a lot of people, but I enjoy it when I buy it, because I always buy them nice and cheap and then watch them. Then we got The Walking Dead Season 1. Now, when this first came on, I was very, like, oh, I'm not going to watch this show because I read the comics. And people kept telling me the comics were different and it wasn't exactly the same, and nobody would really care about the comics. And a lot of people watch the show were like, who gives a shit about the comics? And people watch comics were like, how can you watch the show without reading the comics? Well, I was on the later version, that version, and someone I knew kept saying, oh, but it's better. So I basically waited, and series 1, 2, and 3 were available to buy for like $60 on eBay. So I decided to pick them up, and they're in this collection somewhere. It's the first season, but I've got the other two, and I enjoyed it. The first 6 episodes, I think it is 6 or 7 episodes. Yeah, 6 episodes. It's just like it hooks you. I watched them again in a day, like the Game of Thrones, and I was like, okay, roll on number 2 because you just can't put it down. Once you start watching it, you get hooked. And anyway, there's a couple of bad episodes here and there in every series, but it's pretty good. The character development, the violence, and I like what I like about The Walking Dead is the same thing I liked in the comics. It's not the zombies which are your main threat. It's people. And that's what I like about it. That's the main theme that I like about this series. Because in reality, it doesn't matter what the problem is. If you're in a post-apocalyptic kind of world with zombies and that, you've got way more about the people around you. Because they go insane. They go crazy. They cut little kids' heads off and have sex with them like they do in the comics. And it's just horrifying, you know? Then we've got the following, which, to be honest with you, I really wanted to see this badly when I first heard about it, and I bought the Blu-ray when it was released. I bought it straight away, to be honest. I went in the store and went, boom, I'll have that, and started watching it. And it starts off, the first episode is excellent, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. This show's going to be excellent. As it goes through, you're just like, wow, this show's dragging on and getting more and more stupid. I still like it a lot, but it's like stupid. It's like it goes from a show that could have been beat excellent and epic and incredibly smart and well written to something that is just disappointing and just upsetting, to be honest. The ending leaves a lot to be desired, but the second season, which I haven't seen, probably answers all of that. I'm hoping the second season's a lot better, but I would definitely recommend watching it, but don't expect anything smart other than the pilot, basically. Prime Suspect, the complete collection. Prime Suspect is basically a detective show in England that came on in the 90s to basically 2007. There was a big gap and she did the last case, the final act. And basically she played DCI, let's have a look, DCI Tennyson. And basically she had a lot of sexual abuse from the colleagues because they were like, you know, sexist and you can't rule us, you can't do this. Well, she cracks cases, they end up respecting her, they do what she says, and she's one of the greatest DCIs in the department. And some of the storylines are actually quite violent and some of them are quite disturbing. But but to be honest with you, it's excellent. I really recommend this. This is the only place you can buy it on Blu-ray in America. It's the only place. The problem with it is it's like $50, $60. I was lucky to get it for $43. Prime Suspect was something my mum really loved when I was a kid. And I never really watched them until now. And I really recommend this show to anybody who likes some sort of detective, kind of smart, intelligent show. Plus there's a lot of actors in it which now have got names which didn't back then, like Danny Dyer, David Tuelis, Peter Capaldi, and many others. Then we've got Burn Notice Season 2. Now, Season 2 was the only season to come out on Blu-ray, and it's understandable to see why. The pitch quality is not that great. For some reason, for a show which was in the, I would say, let's see, where did it come out? For 2008, it's terrible. There's shows that come out which are a lot better looking. Sadly, this isn't one of them. The show is great. I enjoy the show. I've only ever watched the first 3 seasons. I've got the complete box set upstairs with this on DVD as well, which was in my box set overview. But to be honest with you, I think this is a good show. I enjoy the character of Michael Weston, but I didn't like it. It's one of those shows that you can't watch a lot of because it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's very samey in the way he talks and like it constantly tells you how to con people and stuff. And it's just a bit like, oh, it's a great show for a spy show, but you can't watch 2 or 3 unless you're a real maniac, obviously. So yeah. Then we've got Nurse Jackie, which I think, again, is another one of the greatest comedies of all time. I love the character of Jackie. I think she's having an affair with Eddie at work. She's married to Kevin. She's got 2 kids. She's also popping pills and a drug addict. Well, sniffing them anyway, not popping them, sniffing them. And, you know, you kind of really get to know her, and you kind of understand that she's not a bad person. She's just messed up. And basically, she's a loving, kind, caring woman, just with serious emotional issues, you know. And I just think this is really good. As you get through the later seasons, like season 2, you get to know her more, and you know, she goes out with Kevin, and Eddie becomes closer to the family, and he's threatening to basically tell Kevin everything, and you're just like, ooh, what's going to happen? And the show's just perfect. Season 5 came out recently, and I've got them all on Blu-ray in the pile somewhere, and I can't put this down. I just love it. If anyone hasn't watched this, at least buy the first season and give it a go, because otherwise you're missing out on a great comedy. Ripper Street, a great English show, which again I haven't seen at the moment. I need to see it because it's one of those shows I really fancy, and season 2's out now. I also want to get Copper 1 and 2. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good. I was recommended it. I got our CEX. Homeland, Season 1 and Season 2. Now, when I first watched the first season of Homeland, I was a bit put off by it by the first episode. I was like, and then it starts getting going, and you're like, wow, this is shocking. And it just gets better and better from there. I mean, Claire Danes is great in it. She's a great character in this. I mean, award-winning character. She should be anyway, because she just really hits the nail in the wood perfectly. It's like bang, 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 and it really makes your mind think. This is one of those shows that you really need to kind of be thinking, open-minded, because you'll miss so much out of it. And it's a thinking man's show, I believe. Like you need to think, you need to watch, you need to understand the characters. You need to get to know the characters. You can't just watch it one week to another. Not like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, unless you read the books, you don't know much about the characters. In each episode, you learn more and more about them, and you can't just go from one episode to another because you miss a whole lot of plot development. But yeah, Homelands 1 and 2 is great, and the best thing about number 2 is the opening case like this. I love that. It slides out at the bottom, but you've got that. It was well worth the money just for that, to be honest. Claire Danes, hot. Then we've got another show, Nikita. Now, I had series 1, but I lost it. Nikita, I've got to admit, it's the series from the film La Femme Nikita, and also the TV series that happened. It's like a remake of those. I admit, Maggie Q makes a good Nikita. She's a lot more sexier than most women, and she's got real sex appeal. And Shane West isn't too bad as Michael, but he just isn't as cold looking as the original Michael in the TV series with, what was the name? And that was Pat or something, I think. Pato or something, but anyway. I like the character of Alex, and I like how, instead of it being she's in there, Alex is in there working for Division, and basically giving Nikita information so Nikita can stop it. I really like that plot, but to be honest with you, I haven't watched series 2, 3, or 4 yet. 4 just come out. That's 6 episodes. I want $20 for it. I think that's a bit much. I'm going to wait until it goes down, maybe Black Friday, maybe soon, and get it and then watch season 2, 3, and 4, because I love the show. The series 1 was excellent. Bit predictable at the end where she's having sex with Shane West, but it's good, you know. I like it. I like Nikita. I like a bit of stupid spy fun. Excellent. Then we've got, I might as well hold it up like this, we've got Dexter, season 1 all the way to season 7. Now, when Dexter started, again, it was one of those shows I was like, I don't know. And then I was given season 1 as a present, the first season. And to be honest with you, it was predictable. I knew it was going to be his brother who was the killer, because it was just one of those shows where you're like, well, who's going to do it? If they know him and he doesn't know them, it's got to be somebody who was in there with him. It's his brother. It was a guess, but it was a lucky guess, and it was true. And the only thing I say about this is I hate some characters in this. I hate Angel Bautista. I think he's ugly and horrible, and I hate him. I hate Deborah, Dexter's sister, because she's just really annoying, constantly swearing, constantly got hormonal issues, constantly bedding everything in sight, and I hated it. But I did enjoy the first season. I thought the first season was excellent. I can't fault it that bad, because I like the character of his brother. I like that he kills people. I think it's great. Then we go on season 2, where you get to meet, what's her name? Where is it? He meets this girl, Alira, I think her name is, isn't it? He meets her, and she basically has sex with him, he sleeps with her and all this, and there's a investigation about the Bay Harbour butcher, basically, and Dexter's trying to get him off the towels because that's him, basically. They found the bags of the body bits is cut up and thrown in the water. So it's quite good, because you know that you've got, I think, Keith Carradine is in it as well. Hey, is it Keith Carradine? Yeah, it is Keith Carradine. He's in it as a detective as well, and he ends up sleeping with Deborah. Yeah. Then we've got series 3 with Miguel, basically killing with Dexter, and he wants to have a friend, Dexter, but it turns out he doesn't want to be his friend, but Miguel's an evil killer, and he must take him out, basically. But my favourite season is and probably the last of the best ones, really, and that's season 4 with John Lithgow. John Lithgow is like a serial killing god in this one, where Dexter kind of looks up to him, even though he knows that he is a killer, and he kind of worships him in a way, because he respects how he's been, and then he finds out that he's not as good as he thought, and he kind of feels like he makes him sick more, and wants to kill him, and basically that's what happens. But Dexter loses someone close to him in the long run, and things go full circle, basically. Season 5, Julia Stiles is locked up in a place, and Dexter saves her. He ends up becoming lovers with her, and basically he goes around killing the guys who tortured her and tortured other girls. It kind of was off the Dexter storyline, if you ask me. I didn't like it. Season 6 is all about religion. These guys who believe in religious quotes from the Bible kill people in the same way and all this, and it was just horrible again. Unbelievable, horrible, and crap. Season 7, I haven't seen. I saw the finale of season 8. All I'm going to say was, thanks for ruining a great show. Thanks for ruining the whole story. There was no real ending to it, and it wasn't any good. Very disappointing. Okay, let's get on next. Okay, there's Nurse Jackie series 3, 4, and 5. Again, like I said before, great show. I highly recommend getting these, because without them, you're missing on a great comedy. And Edie Falco's always excellent. She was excellent in The Sopranos. She's excellent in this. Another great comedy, but only lasted 3 seasons, sadly. But based on a real person. And I've got to admit, I really like the whole detective comedy aspect. You know, book writer by day, detective by night. And that show is Bored to Death. I had this on DVD ages ago, and I really liked it. I couldn't get, to be honest with you, I really liked the first season. In England, you can't get series 2 or 3. Well, not from what I remember. So I was always like, oh, when am I going to see the last 2 seasons? So I downloaded them and watched them. And they're just as funny as the first, which makes sense for I'd buy them. Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. Bored to Death, I have to admit, I like Ted Danson in it. I like Jake Galifianakis, and I love the character of, who is he? Jason Schwartzman. You know, I like it. I think the situations he gets in are hilarious, And I think the show is probably, I like this show more than I like Nurse Jackie, which says a lot really, because Nurse Jackie's fantastic, but this is excellent. But what can you expect? What do you expect? It's from HBO, you know. HBO does quality shows. Where are we? Futurama Volume 5 and 6. 7 got stolen. Ever since Futurama came back on TV, I have to admit, I haven't liked it as much as the first one. Series 1 to 4 to me was extremely funny, and when I found it got cancelled, I was quite depressed. And then I found out they were releasing them again, you know, like new episodes, and they're funny and they're good, but it just doesn't have that same feel to it to me. It's kind of like they're missing something, you know. They're missing something that made it more special. It's just not got it anymore. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've lost my view of it. I don't know. So, another show that I've been meaning to get into, but I just for some reason haven't at the minute, and that is Arrow, the first complete series. Series 2 has just finished on TV, so I need to get through this before season 2 comes out. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, I need to buy season 2, and have seasons stuck up everywhere, like the Dexter, for instance. Bates Motel, season 1. Bates Motel, I have to admit, this is one of those shows that when I heard it was going to be a TV series, I was like, oh no, they're going to ruin a classic film. But then I watched it, and I've got to be honest with you, I actually like it a lot. I think it actually stays very true to the formula, and I think it's not a sellout kind of show. It's one of those shows where you're slowly building on what made Norman the way he is. And I'm sure in the end he's going to kill Norma. I'm sure in the end he's going to kill Norma, because that's the only way it can go, I guess, unless it as him going into full adult and everything. And I really feel like the boy who plays him is really good. It reminds me a lot of Anthony Perkins' character, but like a younger, more innocent version, before he got the way he was. I mean, Norman was always innocent in his own little way, because it was his mother in his mind. You know, his head problems was his mother was the one who was taken over, and it became his mother. But Norman himself was very innocent. And he just wanted to hold a woman or whatever, and then his mother aspect of him would come out and want to kill her. So it's, you know, it's kind of like that. But in this, Norma's alive, but sometimes he sees her and she says things to him, and you're like, huh? When she's not there. So, and he kills people, and you're like, it's a really good show. A lot of people have complained about Norma and Norman's relationship, but how she hugs him and how they're in bed together sometimes hugging. But, you know, what people forget is a lot of teenagers do that with their parents, you know. And it's not inappropriate. I'm talking about, you know, daughters do it with their mums, and sometimes they do it with their dads, and sometimes boys do it with their mums. It depends who you are and what kind of way you were brought up, you know. If you're brought up to be a hard nut, you're not going to do that, are you? If you're brought up to be anything but loving to your parents, completely loving, you're not going to do it. But if you're a mama's boy or a mum or a daddy's girl, you're going to be that way. So that's my explanation for that. But the show starts off with a really bad rape scene, and Norman hits him over the head, the bloke. And basically, as it goes along, it gets more and more disturbing. But that's what we want from Bates Motel. We want a disturbing show, and that's what we get. It's a good show. It's 11 episodes the first season. The second season, I think, it's only got 10. But who cares as long as it's quality? Then we've got Vikings. Now, I've got the original box here, but it goes in Vikings. And I put this on, and I put it on, it was on for an hour before I turned it off, because for some reason, it just kept going on and on and on. It felt like the whole thing was going for like 8 hours straight. And I was just sitting there like, what the hell is going on with this, you know? And I like it, but it's one of those shows that I'm going to have to get back into, because it was just doing my head in with the whole, you know, taking so long. I like, if a show's 40 minutes, I like it being 40 minutes. You know, I don't like it being, I don't know, I don't like it being like 2 hours, then one being 50 minutes, and then another one being 2 hours again. I've never liked that. I've always liked it when you basically say when I'm completely confused on this. Sorry about this. I basically like it when it's what's I saying? Oh, I've gone brain dead. What I don't like about it was the first episode was 3 hours or 2 hours, or it felt like 3 hours, and it basically bored me because it was so long. It was just talking. Oh shit! Oh shit! My rib. Oh. Um. So yeah, Vikings. Before I get any more deeper into complete boredom, because can't remember anything about it. Alright, there we go. Let's get these. Jules Gently, which is an English detective show, and it's a great one. I've only ever watched one episode so far. I had series one, and series one was stolen again because it was on top of the TV, and it just really kind of got to me, you know. But I do like the show. I think the show itself is an excellent show. The character Jules Gently and his partner. I'm trying to figure out what his name is because I haven't seen it in a while. But it's a good show. It's a good detective show. It's well thought, and I like it. It's really fun. I need to get series 1 and 6 so I can watch them properly. Because I don't like watching a show, obviously, without watching it properly through the series. Now, one thing I don't like about these is a series can be 2 episodes or 2 mysteries to 4 mysteries. That's not a series to me. You know, you watch American show is like 22 episodes. You know, crazy, but it is, you know. Okay, here we go. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, season 5, 6, and 7. Now, originally I didn't like this show, but as it went along, I liked it more and more. I've really got into it, and I really find it thinking. But I like Charlie, I like Dennis, I don't like Dee, I don't like Sweet Dee. I wish I'd kill her off because she's horrible, and I like Danny DeVito's character Frank. And I think it's like another one of those shows where you got a different thing every week. And to be honest with you, I like it, but I like it when they focus on a proper storyline, you know. But then that's just me. Like the wrestling one was funny, and the underage drinking, and the abortion one in the first series, where he's against abortion, yet he has sex with a girl, and then when she says to him, "I'm pregnant," he says, "Can't you have an abortion?" It's just hysterically funny, you know. It's one of those funny shows, but I won't say it's a great show. I'd say it's an alright show. Well, in my view, anyway, because it's quite disappointing in some aspects. And then the one that I haven't seen is Always Sunny in Philadelphia Christmas Special, A Very Sunny Christmas. I've never seen it, but I've heard it has swearing and everything in it because it's not on FX. Workaholics season 1 and 2. I got this very cheap, but I have to be honest, I haven't watched it yet, so I really can't say anything about it. But it looked pretty good. Blood Ties. Now, I had this on DVD in England, and I really liked it. I found it to be quite fun. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't like, oh, this blows my mind away. It wasn't like Angel. It wasn't like that. It wasn't anything special like that. But it was one of those fun little shows you could watch that you wouldn't really care about, but you wanted to watch it because it was there. And that's basically what this is, you know. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Then I've got season 3 missing because it was stolen, and I got these all in the limited edition box set with the comic, the art cards, the sonic screwdriver, and the big box. But I'm not going to get the big box set because I'm just doing the shows, you know. Maybe I'll do that on another day when I'm just doing an overview of a box set or something. And that is Doctor Who at the Proms. That's the first one. I haven't watched that yet. The 7th season of Doctor Who, which, to be honest with you, I like Jenna Coleman. I know people ain't going to like this. I think she's hotter than any other one. Her and Katie Manning. Oh, my two favourite Doctor Who companions of all time. I'd get them in bed together now. Katie Manning's like 60, 70 now. I'd have her in that bed right now at that age. Whoa. Katie Manning, Jenna Coleman. Woo! That's hot. Then we've got the 6th season, which I haven't seen yet. The 5th season, I haven't seen yet. 4th season, which, to be honest with you, I really liked. I didn't think I'd like Catherine Tate that much, because, to be honest with you, I don't like her other shows. But I really enjoyed this. I really found this to be a great season, which shocked me, to be honest. Season 3 with Martha in it, I found that to be quite good from the bit I watched of it before it got stolen. I didn't like that they kind of reused a woman who got killed off and said it was her cousin. I didn't like that, but they said she was the cousin of the one who got killed off at the end of season 2, I think it was. I just didn't like that. I thought that kind of ruined her entrance. Then you've got the specials. Now, this has the Next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, The Waters of Mars, The End of Time Part 1, and The End of Time Part 2. The End of Time Part 2 is where David Tennant says bye and becomes Matt Smith, basically. And I really, really like that one. A lot of people cry, and they cried about it, and they'd be like this, "Oh, David Tennant, you're gone! No!" You know. Me, I didn't really care. I was upset by it because, you know, you could tell the passion was there with him, and that, you know, you won't get that passion again. But Matt Smith is quite passionate about the role himself, so it was good to see. It was good to see him. You know, it was good to see Matt Smith. Now we've got Peter Capaldi. I don't know. You know, I'm hoping they go more old style, but they might not. So yeah, that's the specials. And then you got Doctor Who, the complete 2nd season. I've got the 1st season here somewhere, I think. Anyway, is that it? No, but there. I like the 2nd season where he says bye to Rose, because even though I like Rose, I was getting bored of her on the 2nd season, being all lovey-eyed with him and all this stuff. And to be honest with you, that's not what the Doctor was about originally. It wasn't about lovey-eyed women chasing after him and wanting him. It was about just being a freak and being an alien, you know, and being a good guy. That was it, basically. So it was quite disappointing in that aspect of the season. But there's some really good episodes in it. Oh, dear. It's going to fall. By the end of this, all those are going to fall over. Then we've got The Time of the Doctor, which I was very disappointed about because, to be honest with you, I didn't like the ending where Gallifrey hated him through the whole series, but then they decided to save his life and give him 12 more lives. I was like, what a load of bullshit, you know. To be honest, it sold out, and to be honest with you, you know, it was a Moffat thing, and I didn't like that. Doctor Who the Snowman, which is on one of the other discs. I like this, but I didn't think it was a great Christmas special. To be honest, I thought it was one of those Christmas specials that you watch once, and then you kind of throw it away in the cupboard because you don't really care about it that much. Then we had the kind of movie, Doctor Who, the 50th anniversary, which had Matt Smith in it, David Tennant, and John Hurt. And I really did like this. I thought this was a really good kind of film of Doctor Who. It was a lot better than I expected. And I have to admit, it touched me quite a lot. I just like the whole relationship between the 3 doctors, considering they're the same person kind of thing. And I thought it was great. It was very intelligent. But halfway through, the main threat that you thought would be in it kind of just disappears. You know, it doesn't seem to matter anymore. So that was the only problem with it in my view, you know. Hannibal, Season 1. I picked up Hannibal because I'm a big fan of Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon, Manhunter. I'm a big fan of the Hannibal movies. And to be honest with you, I like it, but I don't like how it's a detective kind of show. I want to see more Hannibal Lecter. I don't want to see so much of Will Graham. I want to see more of Hannibal Lecter. I want to see him killing people. I want to see him being bad. You saw some of that in it, and he was really bad in it. Really bad killer, but it just wasn't. It just didn't scream Hannibal at all. It was very disappointing. Now the second season's been on TV. I'm going to give it another chance and hopefully like it, because otherwise I'm just going to continuously be disappointed by it, and I don't want that because it's supposed to be a show that I really like, but it isn't. The Walking Dead, the second season, the one where he turns evil. I really like this a lot. I really like the second season because they meet Herschel. And Herschel's like really old man in this. I really like that. Yo, what's up, Herschel? And he's got this little thing like, we've all been condemned and all that. And it's just great. I love it. I find it to be a very fun season, and I'm really looking forward to, getting on season 3. Acebound and Down season 4. Now, to be honest with you, I thought this series was really ridiculous, this season 4, but I like the way it ended. The way it ended was perfect for the Kenny Powers story, but the rest of the series was just really over the top. The best bit probably was when he joined the sports talk show called Guy Says. I like that because it was funny, and I thought that was great. I didn't like the relationship between him and April. I didn't like how Stevie got this big chin, and got his wife Maria big massive breasts. It wasn't funny, but the rest of it was. It was an alright season. Anger Management season 1. Now this only had I think 13 episodes, and the rest of the volumes have like 22, 23 episodes. So it isn't that bad. And basically, I described it earlier. It basically starts off and going, I'm winning and all this stuff. And basically, it just gets into your average. It's like 2.5 Men, but with one bloke being a shrink, basically. Doctor Who season 1. The new series of the Doctor Who starts, and it's alright. It gets to a rocky start, I believe. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it really got to its point until the second season because it needed to get started. It needed to get the fan base, and it needed to get the whole getting the Doctor Who thing sorted, because the new series was completely different to the old series in my view because of the sets, and they were different. It has too much CGI. Some shows you don't need CGI, I mean, it's nice, but you don't need it. Acebound and Down season 2. Is this 2? Season 3. Basically, he ends up going to another baseball club, and basically he ends up making a friend who ends up having a cocaine overdose. And again, it's just another funny season. Out of all the seasons, I'd probably say this was the weakest, followed by number 4. No, don't fall. There we go. There we go. I've got some just with the artwork in me because I need to get cases for them. First one's The Take, which is a great mobster kind of series from the book by Martina Cole, proper gangster kind of series. And I like how Sean Evans goes from being like kind of like the weaky one to being the very strong one to being the darker one. I like Tom Hardy. He's a great actor, and it's a fantastic story. I recommend reading the book or watching the show because it's just awesome. I really enjoyed the show. Obviously, because I own it. Life's Too Short, which is a Ricky Gervais comedy starring Warwick Davis. It's just great. It's another comedy show where, like, he goes into a school because somebody's bullying him online, and he goes, you think you must be a faggot and all that, talking about the person who's doing it. It turns out to be the boy in the wheelchair, and everybody throws things at him and calls him a fag and all this. It's just hysterical. It's one of the great. I think it's better than all the other ones. So it's better than The Office, better than Extras, better than what's the other one called? Life's Too Short. Not Life's Too Short. An Idiot Abroad. I prefer this over the other three. halfway through. Then we've got Dollhouse Season 1. Dollhouse Season 1 and 2. Now, Dollhouse is alright. Basically, the story is she's in her place, and you can hire them to make the person anybody with any kind of mind you want, whether it be smart, be really girly, be a lawyer, be a detective, be a prostitute, you name it. And basically, the story behind it is that she's been kidnapped. She's one of them, basically. And every episode, she gets her mind changed, and bit by bit, she remembers her past, and it's basically like that. And there's a detective looking for her, and all this other stuff. And to be honest, it gets a little bit boring after a while because it's predictable. Is the best word for it, predictable. So I've only got through half of the first season. I've only got through half of the first season, and I do like the show. It's one of the shows I can't just keep watching because it's going to bore me and I'm going to hate it. A show I haven't watched yet, and that's the Borgias, or whatever way you want to say it. All 3 seasons. I did put it on, and it's got a beautiful Blu-ray picture, but I haven't actually watched it yet, so I can't really say much about it. Another show I haven't seen yet, but I've seen basically the animated Spider-Man, and not animated Spider-Man, animated Superman, and the animated Batman. And that's the Justice League series, the Justice League Unlimited. Is it Justice League Unlimited? No, Justice League. 26 episodes on 2 discs, 26 episodes on 3 discs. Now, I hate when they put them on 2 discs. I hate 13 episodes a disc. I want 9 a disc, you know? I hate it. Then we've got the 15th season of The Simpsons. Everybody knows The Simpsons, a funny comedy which I think has been cancelled this year now. I think it had its last season this year. It's either this year or next year, which is a shame because it's a cult classic among Americans, you know, and everyone worldwide. But it's a proper American TV series, animated comedy show. The point is it got very stale because it's gone on so long, but some of the episodes are very similar. So it gets a bit boring now. I think it's been like 400 episodes. Gangster Empire, The Rise of the Mob. Basically, this is just a 6-part documentary about the mob and how they ended up where they are, basically, and all that. And it's nothing special, but it was a Mill Creek toll, and I thought $5 I'll pick it up. Ooh, yes, here we go. Now we've got another great show which sadly ended last year, and that is Breaking Bad. Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4, Series 5, Series 6. Now I've only ever seen Series 1 to 3 and half of 4. I'm still waiting to get through them and watch 5, 6. I have to admit, it's one of the greatest shows I've seen. I love the whole Walter White desperate for money thing. He's desperate for money because he's found out he's got cancer and he's going to die, to being just a plain evil asshole, even to his own family. I like that because to me that's realistic. You start off on good terms and start off doing what you think's the right thing to do, and then you end up becoming evil and end up just about yourself, which does happen. People get too much power and they turn evil. Aaron Paul's great in it, and you can see he was going to get killed off in the first 3 episodes. It's great throughout the whole show, and Dean Norris is always good in it as Hank, and he's good in Under the Dome, which I've got, which is coming up later in this. I just like Gustus. I like how he works in a chicken place, and he's the biggest drug maker in the area or the world or whatever it is. And I just love how I love the 2 evil hired guns who kill people, and they try and kill Hank, and he ends up in bed at home, all angry and upset. And I like that, you know. I like the character of Hank. And I don't know if this happened to a lot of people, but when I got this, I was surprised because when I opened it, it had a Blu-ray disc of MythBusters Breaking Bad Special, which was quite good. And the fact that it was actually a Blu-ray as well amazed me. Because most companies, they just make it a DVD because it's free, you know. So I was happy about that. I mean, really happy. Ooh. Then we've got Sons of Anarchy, Series 2, 3 and 4. Now, I had Series 1 but it got stolen. And I love Ron Perlman in this. I do what I do to protect what we've got. You know, he hugs him. The one thing about this is every biker hugs each other like a couple of poofters, and they bite on each other's ears and stuff. And you're just like, come on, man up, kids, man up. Real bikers do not go around just hugging and comforting each other. They punch each other in the face and tell each other man up because they're little bitches. But Sons of Anarchy is a great show to watch. I find it highly fun and great. And when Ron Perlman got killed in one of the series, I was just like, oh fuck, because it kind of ruined the series for me. Because Ron Perlman was one of my favourite actors, you know. Then we've got, is it here? Let's have a look. Where are you? Where are you in this? There you are. Okay, then we come on to a big collection here, right here, like this. Oh. And that is, we've got Sharp's Peril, Sharp's Challenge, and then we've got the other Sharp episodes which are in the box. Which if I put this in, I can show you, like this, which is a complete original classic series in it, and it has a letter opener in it and an official map of the whole of the area of Sharp, basically. The thing that I like most about Sharp is I like the relationship between him and the Chosen Men. Because at first they hate him to bits and they don't like him because they don't think he deserves to be there. And then they end up really loving him and thinking he's fantastic, and they have like this real family bond where they'll die for each other. Like when Perkins, I think it's Perkins, gets killed. The little boy, the young one, he gets killed, and Patrick, aka Paddy, gets so angry about it, and they purposely go in there to kill him, the bloke, in the French army, and he gets him, Patrick, and he just kills him so brutally, just decimates him, and it's so good because you really feel the relationship between them, and one by one they all die off really slowly but surely, and it's very depressing. And then years later they released Sharp's Peril and Sharp's Challenge, with Sharp and Paddy back in it, and a couple of old faces who basically were in the show back then. And I didn't like the India storylines. They're based on books, but I didn't like them. I kind of preferred the other ones. But the ironic thing is, the India storylines came first. So, you know, I don't know, maybe it just lost its power throughout the show, you know, later on. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Maybe because it was like a new era. Because the others were filmed in the 90s. Then we've got Deadwood, the complete series. I haven't really got into this yet, but I did like the first episode. I can't say much about it because, like I said, I haven't really watched it. So, you know. Then we've got Rome, the complete series, which is another HBO show. And to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Rome. The first season of Rome is amazing. It's like Game of Thrones amazing. And then what happens is the second season just throws that all away. The second season just is terrible. Compared to season one, it's dreadful. I like the whole Julius Caesar getting stabbed in the back storyline. I like that it was actually in a TV show. I like Octavian. I like all of that, you know. It's just an amazing TV series, and it's great, but I always avoid season 2 because that's just depressing and crap. Then we've got Spartacus, Blood and Sands, Damned and Vengeance. And twice I've already seen Blood and Sand, and that was very violent, and I really liked it. I really like violent shows. But these two, I've never seen them yet. I haven't seen them at all, twice. I saw Blood and Sand on English DVD and English Blu-ray, that is. But I like these bookstore ones. The bookstore ones are better. Nearly done, guys. Getting closer and closer. Then we've got Hung Series 2 and 3. Now, I haven't seen Hung Series 2 or 3, but I saw Series 1. And I really, really liked it. And it got stolen. And that's the highlight of this conversation. Stolen. So, yeah. I don't know anything about these two, but it basically becomes a male escort prostitute, and he's got a pimp, and it's just great, you know, it's fun. It's one of those fun HBO shows. I don't know if people realise, but I'm big on HBO shows. Now, I imported these ones from Australia, thank God, because I'd wanted these for years. Literally years since they came out. And I was so gutted I could never ever buy them. It really upset me a lot. And then one day, before I moved to America, they all popped up on eBay, and I was like, fuck you, motherfuckers. And the first season of Underbelly. Now, this is a fantastic season. This season is probably the only one that's actually any good, really, compared to the other ones. Because the others are alright, but they're not detailed, they're not great, they're not as amazing as this season. When I found out I could actually get this on Blu-ray, I screamed. The fact that I actually had the chance to buy it, I screamed in pleasure. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, hallelujah, 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 thank you, God. So basically, that's what happened, and I got this basically, and I'm happy about it because it's about the war in Melbourne between the Colton crew and basically, what's his name? Cole Williamson. I think it's Cole Williamson. I think so. And basically takes them out one by one because he was shot by one because he was pill popping basically, and basically that's why he kills him. He kills Mark Moran. He kills Cole Moran. Cole Moran's death is amazing, and it really happened. That's the amazing thing. That's what I like about it. It's true. Then we've got. I'm trying to get them in order. Oh, there we go. Now, I haven't seen this one, and that's Underbelly, A Tale of Two Cities. I haven't seen this one at all, so I can't say anything about it, but I'm sure it's alright. You know? The Golden Mile, which is basically about... Where is he? John Abraham, because John Abraham has all these nightclubs and all that, and basically people think he's a part of a gang. And he's got this massive empire, but no one can ever get him on it because there's no proof. So, you know, it's kind of got him in the background doing things. It's more about the girl, Kim Hollingsworth, but as she's a prostitute, now she goes from being a prostitute to being a police officer. It's all true story. There's a lot of mob stuff going on in it, but it's quite boring compared to the first season. And it just, you know. Then we've got season 4, Underbelly Razor, which was set back in the 1920s between Kate and Tilly Devine, and basically they were the two biggest mob women in Australia at the time. And it's just really stupid. The way the show ends is stupid, like, and Kate stuck her head in an oven and stuff like that. You know, terrible. But one of the greatest characters in it dies off really early, so that was quite disappointing. But I do recommend Underbelly to anybody who wants to watch them. Underbelly Badness. I really like this. This was 8 parts. And I went watching the promo for it. And I really, really liked the promo. You know. And I like Anthony Michael Parrish. I think Anthony Michael Parrish is a great evil villain. Basically, what's his name? Terry Falcon, I think the guy's name was, basically killed his grandparents, and he made this massive plan to get him out of prison and to get him out of the area he was because he was on tag, kill him and bury him basically and throw him in the river. And he did it, and it was amazing, but he didn't get caught for it till 10 years later. And he had a big massive drug operation, and he was a really evil, twisted man basically. And his brother was, and he knows someone's evil because when their brother's name's Panties, That's when you know, you know. But yeah, so I think 1 and 5 are my favourites. There is Underbelly Squizzy and there is Fat Tony and Co, which I don't have on Blu-ray yet, sadly, but I will do eventually. Then we've got Archer Series 1, the first season, which is an excellent way of getting to know Archer. Fantastic. Woodhouse is good. And I just love his mum. She just doesn't care. She's the right bitch. They got Grey's Anatomy. No one's going to die. No one's going to live. Everybody's gone. Patrick Dempsey and the Ellen Pompeo show. Them two constantly going at it and constantly trying to get off of each other. Will they be together? Will they not? Will they be together? Will they not? The 10th season just ended right now, you know. And this was the 8th season that came out on Blu-ray in America. I hate it when they bring out a season on Blu-ray and the rest on DVD because it just doesn't look right on the shelf. And it's lazy. Bring out more seasons on Blu-ray. Beavis and Butthead, Volume 4. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought, oh, Beavis and Butthead, yay! Beavis and Butthead, you know, I was like, yay, can't wait, can't wait. Well, got it in the player, watched it, and I was like, oh, it's funny. But it hasn't got the same touch to it that the series did in the 90s. Why? Because it's 20 minutes long. It's not a 5-minute thing, you know? It's not like a quick thing. It hasn't got the original humour to it. And the humour in it now is dated because it's not what people want to see. And it's depressing because Beavis and Butthead, it's one of those fantastic things that you remember from childhood, you know, of the 90s. So it's just depressing knowing that it's not the same show that it was back then, you know? And that just depresses me quite a bit. So, you know. Next one. Duck Dynasty Season 1. Never seen it, but always fancied watching it. So, I'm going to plan on watching that pretty soon. Wilfred, where the bloke basically sees a man dressed up as a dog who humps women from behind and gets his balls scratched and stuff. And it's about mental illness. Elijah Wood's got a mental illness in it. It's just really funny. It's based on an Australian comedy. The Hatfields and McCoys, based on a true story between them, but I've never seen it, so I can't say anything. Haven't seen The Unit Season 4 either, because I need to get Season 1, 2 and 3 on DVD first so I can watch them. The 20th anniversary of The Simpsons. The worst part about The Simpsons Blu-rays is most of them are not in HD, because they will come out years ago. Like the 20th season of this was out years and years ago, and then they released it for the 20th anniversary, you know? So, oh, just a few more. Archer, the complete 4th season, which is really funny. Got a lot of gay humour in this season, and it's extremely funny to watch. And I really like it. I think it's going to be cancelled, you know? And that depressed me, but, you know, it didn't, so. Wentworth, basically the remake of Prison Cell Block H, and it works perfectly. I love the characters, I love the acting, and I just love the whole thing. The whole thing is amazing, it's clever, it's smart, it's disturbing. Some of the things that happen, like what Jax gets her son to do to B's daughter, is just incredibly cruel and incredibly disturbing, the fact that someone can do that to you, and so easily. If you ever see this, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, I recommend this, and I think it's a great show. Mad Men Series 5, which I haven't watched, like I said, I haven't watched the others yet. Hard Target, which is a very fun action TV series. I really like this show, but I've only seen 2 episodes, so I'll get into it eventually. Bonnie and Clyde, never seen this series, but it's only 2 episodes, so it's like a little mini series, so I'm looking forward to watching it, hopefully. Magic City Season 1, I want to get Season 2 before I watch it, because I want to watch them back to back, hopefully, if I like it. So, yeah, you know, I've heard good things about it, but sadly it ended in its 2nd season, so couldn't have been that good. Then we've got season 1 of Boardwalk Empire. Oh, oh. Season 2 and season 3. Now, I like Boardwalk Empire. I think the character of Nucky is very interesting. It's very slow compared to The Sopranos. It's a lot more character based and a lot more quiet. You know, like not so much action going on. As The Sopranos, someone's getting killed every couple of episodes. But it really makes you think, and it's a real smart mobster kind of show. And it's not like you'd expect. You know, The Sopranos was more brutal because of the time, I guess. And it's because they're set in the 20s kind of thing, like Prohibition time. It's a lot more thought provocative, basically. So yeah, I really like Boardwalk Empire. I think it's a great show. Then we've got Under the Dome, which is, to be honest with you, I've only watched the first episode, and it's already getting good. The dome drops, and you find out that Big Jim's evil, and you find out that the boy who was shagging the girl at the beginning is twisted and demented, and it just really gets you. So I'm going to watch some more of this tonight and really get into it more. Then, last but not least, like any true fan of the movies, I've got the series 1 and 2 of the Blu-rays of Highlander. The Blu-ray qualities are horrendous, but so are the DVDs, so that don't make much of a difference. I do like Aidan Paul. I actually do like him a little bit more than Christopher Lambert. I think he's great. I think he's more charismatic. And I also enjoyed the show. I think it's great. What's the other guy's name? Can I see what the guy's name? I cannot see what the guy's name is. But there's a boy in it who helps him and is interesting. But yeah, so Highlander 1 and 2, season 1 and 2. Whew. We've got through all the Blu-ray box sets of TV shows which I've got. Now, so this is what I mean, right? You get people out there who go, look at me, I've got this big massive collection of Blu-rays, I've got this big TV collection, I've got this big horror collection, I've got this big comedy section, whatever. Right? My words to all of them out there is bullshit. Because you're not a big collector if you can't do like a 2-hour video or you haven't got that many, you know? Everybody's a collector in their own right, don't get me wrong, you know? If you've got 100 DVDs, you're a collector. If you've got 10, you're a collector, you know. You're collecting the ones you like. But I just don't like the ones that flash it off and go on about how they've got so many and how they're big and how they're great. And at the end of the day, they haven't got any at all. And they're just trying to be smart and trying to look better when they need to realise that the most important thing is what they like. You know, I buy what I like and I show it off because people want me to. So, you know, but it doesn't mean that my collection is bigger than, let's say, someone like Brendan Mitchell's or Sean C. Phillips. I'm just saying them because they've got big collections. It doesn't mean their collections are bigger than mine. You know what I mean? I have to admit, I'd like to know how many they had, you know, like on the program thing, just out of curiosity, because they look like they've got thousands. But you know, it's just one of those things where you sit there and you're like, okay, I was watching some Blu-ray horror collections from this year, and people going, look at this massive collection, and it was only 18 minutes of them talking about like 12 Blu-rays, and you're just like, oh, get a grip with humanity, man, you know. But yeah, so that's my television shows on Blu-ray update. I'm gonna probably do another update probably by the end of the night of either Asian films or Criterions, because I'm trying to get these overviews out of the way, because to be honest with you, I want to move on and do other stuff, but I want to get them done obviously because of my viewers, because I love my subscribers. You know, just so you know, Kelly, I'm going to do the action one for Tuesday, but thanks for asking for it because it's going to be a big one, and I'm hoping you enjoy it, and I'm hoping other people enjoy it. But yeah, anyway, so thanks for watching, and I hope you all had fun. In the comment section, let me know what you thought, and let me know what TV shows you like. You know, do you like Grey's Anatomy? Do you like Wentworth? Do you like Boardwalk Empire? Do you like something different, like Why Life's Too Short? Do you like Breaking Bad? Because most people do. You know, do you like Sharp? Whatever, you know, let me know. And tell me what you think. Did you enjoy the chat? Are you in love with me now, guys? Because you find out if I'm the king of Blu-ray buying? Yeah. No, but you know, seriously, I had fun doing this. I'm going to probably do a Criterion one later on tonight. But like I said again, thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun. And take care, guys, and have a good one. And oh, my next South Park video should be up tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.